I'm curious how many, like, because I feel like there's such different audiences, but, like, people that watch Vikings and people that watch anime, like, is there any crossover
material
of, like, oh, yeah, I love, you know, Ragnar Lothbrok in this show, and then I also love Vinland Saga. I feel like we'll probably be the only ones. Us three on this couch.
We'll see. Hey, everybody!
I'm Adam.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Will, and we are
Working Titles! Skål!
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 Skull.
Cheers, Skagamores!
Brothers.
Dude, I can't think of any Viking gestures.
Shield wall!
Shield wall!
Shield wall!
And skål.
Dead that!
I put a mug over, you stab a man.
Yeah.
To the Vikings. ASMR again.
Oh, we're doing some ASMR?
Floki. Where are you, Floki?
Put it down!
He never
Stop! Floki's dead. I don't even care what the show shows.
He never died in Volcano.
Floki was dead.
No, he
Dead!
didn't. No.
We're starting a new series, y'all!
Guys, welcome to a new series. This is the Vinland Saga.
The Vinland Saga or Vinland
It's
Saga?
Vinland
I
Saga.
think it's Vinland Saga.
Yeah.
Did I say the?
You said
The Vinland Saga.
That's why I wasn't sure.
He said it with his chest.
A well-known Japanese anime. I think it's fairly new, right?
2019.
This is the poll winner from last month. So thank you all for joining in the polls. If you guys want to see some of your shows ever appear on this channel, you gotta make sure that you join the Patreon. And then maybe it'll end up like Vinland Saga. Okay. What does anyone know about the show?
Nothing. Vikings.
Vikings, I know the main character's name, I think, and I've been told the intro is amazing.
Dope.
Cool.
I guess that's all we really need to say.
Yeah.
I'm
I
excited.
don't know anything else about it.
Yeah. And it's exciting because this literally won the polls against some pretty big anime, so like I want to know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, make sure you leave a like on this video. Make sure you comment down below what you love about this show without spoilers. Subscribe to this channel if you're excited for Vinland Saga, and also go check out some of our other shows. If you want some week in advance, check out our Patreon. Vinland Saga will be on there, as you clearly are seeing that now. Patreons, as well as Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan.
And it's not a market substitute, guys. You gotta go on whatever anime streaming service you prefer to watch Vinland Saga over there first, and then come back to YouTube and watch our reaction, alright? We're gonna punch it. Bow! Or we'll go scald.
Skulls!
Wheat. Buff.
Big man.
Thors.
Thors. Thors.
Thors.
Helga.
Hey.
For some reason, I thought I stepped on a bear trap.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh. Whoa!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Look at the smile.
No shot!
What?
Welcome to Anime Vikings, boys! THORS!
It's the fight I never got in Vikings on the open sea.
Yeah, he had a flashback.
Oh my god.
With a body.
Look how huge that guy is.
That guy's ginormous.
Thorkel with Floki.
Bring up the front line.
Damn, listen to these deep
Turn it
voice
up, turn it up, turn it up,
motherfuckers.
turn it up. He's trying to get a KD.
It's like every time I play Warzone. Just like, let me go on my own. Oh.
Look at this.
Dude, he is
What the hell?
destroying these guys.
And that's me in Chivalry.
I got it.
And I lose.
What was that Knight in Armor game that came out recently?
Chivalry.
Hell.
Oh!
Dang. Oh.
I like the style, the animation of this. So is he like a god, or is he just a really good fighter?
one and the same.
A demigod?
Maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
Okay.
They do an intro and then an intro.
That's usually the first episode, the pilot. Love the screaming.
Somewhere not here. Nice.
So descriptive, man.
Farming. In the winter, you're nuts.
I was gonna say famine. Iceland.
Iceland.
Ooh.
Oh, so
Loki was successful. Floki.
200 years later. Or no.
Yeah, from our show.
No.
What, the beginning?
The very beginning said it was the year 987. That's the name I know. Oh. Ah, it's Skywalker.
Such a visceral image.
Yes.
That accompanied with thinking of Luke Skywalker.
Dang.
That's incredible. Greenland.
America. America. Yeah, this is our world. Okay. They did say Iceland.
Yeah.
Greenland.
Vinland.
Land is Vinland.
Okay.
Leaf Eric.
Leaf.
すげえやレイフのおっちゃんそれで
Yinga Hinger Dinger.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow. So wait, the show Vinland is the Americas or Canada?
真の戦士かやっぱおっちゃんはすごいな
Thorfinn.
No, I really like the Japanese language a whole lot. It doesn't feel weirdly placed at all considering this is a different culture.
だっ
Yeah.
てじいちゃんが言ってたもん西にはヨルムンガンドがいて
Jormungandr.
もうみんな食べちゃうんだだいたいレイフさん戦士じゃないじゃん
Calling him out. You don't know anything.
みんな言ってるよおっちゃんはヒゲ生えた子供だって冒険ばっかで戦の役に立たないって
Damn.
He's like the guy who comes to Kattegat and is just like the teller, the storyteller,
Yeah.
the translator.
Beat some sense to them right now. THORS and Thorfinn.
Thors. Zombie?
You got a chain.
Oh, it's just
A slave.
I feel so bad for saying that now. Thought he was a zombie. I'm so sorry.
He was kind of.
I mean, it crossed me too.
sorry,
but
man.
I saw the chain first.
ご苦労様
You
母上もう
perverts.
寝なよ羊を
There's literally nothing better than like knowing it's freezing cold out and then you get to just chill by a fire.
Yeah.
わしの国では今弟が移住の計画を立てている、遠いのだろうなーにわしは往復してきたさ
Said I did it without breaks, fool.
進めフィンランドはすぐそこだぞ
Is this a little leaf? Is that leaf or
Thorfinn.
that's the big guy?
Jormungandr. What the?
It's a dream or something.
苦しい
Oh, okay. It's that kid.
なね上自分のベッドに行きなよ狭いよやだ なんだか気にしなくていいのよ。心配事は大人の仕事なんだから。それよかおいで、姉上が抱っこしてあげる。
That's cute.
Yeah.
I feel like I never see that in TV shows. A big sister.
Yeah.
もうねえ父上、どうしてうちは奴隷を買わないの？母上は体弱いんだし、私が
Back to Viking culture.
Yeah, I forgot
Forgot.
they're horrible people.
Ylva?
Yeah.
どうした？
Somebody's right there.
なんか
Oh, it's the slave.
ユルバ
Did she land on him?
He's probably like a
Buried
slave
in the snow.
Froze outside. There's no way he can survive that. Yeah, dang. Where the heck did he come from?
It's a great question.
Little Bjorn.
ねえおっちゃん、昨日の話どこまで本当なの？
私
Thorfinn.
は若い頃流氷に閉じ込められたことがある。グリーンランドへ移り住んだばかりだったからな。不覚を取った。食料はすぐになくなって氷を食ってひもじさを取り合わせた。
Jeez.
ついには船が氷に潰され、
Dang.
わしらはどうしようもなく海の上を歩いた。6人の仲間は皆死んだ。
I'm surprised he didn't say he had to eat one of them.
The kid's like, I didn't want to know the truth now.
どうして僕らはそうまでしてこんな北の島に住んでるの？
Warriors.
ヘルガ、湯を沸かしてくれ。ユルバ、毛皮だ。
はい。ねえ父上、もう死んでんじゃない？手足腐ってるし。っていうかまずいよ。どうしてって。逃げた奴隷だよ。かくまったら揉め事になるよ。
逃げてきたんだよ。わしらの先祖は昔はもっと東の地に住んどった。ノルウ
Norway.
ェーという名の。
Yeah.
Damn.
That's where our hoodies are. Look at that. It's pretty much Kattegat right there.
Exactly.
だがある日、ハラルドという
Harold.
Yes.
ハラルドの軍勢は火の勢いでムラムラを
Wow.
彼は最初の
Mr. Fine Hair.
を名乗り支配
Look
者
at
The
that.
first king of
そ
Norway.
して人々に迫った王に服従するかさもなくば
Oh,
ノ
that's
ル
so
ウェーの
dope.
地を去るか
父上、聞いてよ。レイムのおっちゃんが。
He's still going. Man.
よその奴隷だよ。逃げてきたんだ。生き返った。
I feel like you're gonna have to cut off the legs still, though.
And hands. They said his hands too.
連れ戻されるのか。ハーフダンさんの
Halfdan's household.
ハー
Oh
フだ。
my.
やっぱり山の向こうから。
Wow.
あそこは嫌だ。
Oh, that's so awful.
どこも行くあてなんか。
You can stay with THORS.
トールズ来てくれハーフだ
Oh boy. So, yeah, probably Halfdan the Black from actual history, like Harold's brother in the show.
God dang it. All over this guy who's just trying to get
最
away.
後は人間に似合う唯一の首飾りだ
Jesus.
金でも銀でもね鉄の鎖だ
He's wearing a black hood
首に
too.
繋いだ鎖だけだ人間ってやつを少しはマシにしてく
What a piece of shit.
Yikes.
そう思わんか
He looks like the bad guy from
俺
Mulan.
の奴隷
That's he looks like a Mongolian or something.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
That's awesome.
小僧てめえは見覚えがあるぜあの喧嘩でてめえには左腕を切られたそっちこそよくも兄貴の足を切り落と
Vikings, new day, same fight.
おお来いや法律も3日の犬のクソで
Woo! Wow, that's crazy.
ハーフダンさん。
つなぐぞ貴様。
Don't speak out of turn.
Oh boy.
Oh! Lacerations. Oh.
ゲドウはつながれて初めて人間の
What the hell?
生きているのだ。
Oh.
Gross.
Oh.
You're fucked.
逃げたのは若いスラブ人の男だ。
Like Slavic.
Slavic, man.
心当たりはあるか。
Oh, it's already over, isn't it?
Yeah, we had the halfway marker.
Oh, wait. Oh, maybe the slave passed away. Or the guy passed away. Yeah.
こんなに安らかな気持ちは。
しっかりしろ。おい、あんた。気を張れ。死ぬぞ。
トールズ。
He's dead.
Did we get a name for him?
No.
海の向こうにヴィンランドという名の土地がある。豊かで奴隷商人も戦の炎も届かぬ遠い地だ。
Yet.
どうだ。
ここはフィンランドというのか。
He's already there.
無作法は許せよトールズ。俺はその奴隷の正当な所有者だ。
ですね、かくまったんじゃないんですよ。あなたの奴隷の死にそうなとこを助けたわけでして。
ハーフだ。そいつは連れて帰る。他の奴隷の前で見せしめに拷問せにゃならん。
Oh snap, oh snap, oh snap.
ならば4頭だ。
Then I'll give you 4 sheep.
てめえ。そのバイと言え
Jesus.
だそう。すべて3歳以下のメスでな。いい取引だぜ。トールズ。それでそいつの鎖を解いてやったつもりか。
Nah, I think he was helping you stay alive, Mr. Halfdan. The scene from the intro.
悲しいの。悲しいわよ。羊8頭もしたのにあっという間に死ん
He
じゃった
died
よ。
immediately.
父上、
He didn't want the man to probably get tortured.
僕らも逃げてきたの。レイフのおっちゃんがご先祖様は東から逃げてきたって。
ああ、そう伝えられている。
じゃあここからも逃げた。
That's not the tall guy from the intro, right? The first part?
I don't know.
I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Swords in a helmet.
It's just like a burning torch in a storm.
Alright, guys. Episode 1 of the Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga. The Vinland.
What was the first episode's name? Did we get a...
Somewhere not here.
Somewhere not here, okay. Alright, I'm curious. I'm curious how you two feel.
I'm interested. I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I guess just from like surface level, it's pretty. Animation's pretty good, and I'm just kind of curious like where it's gonna go.
Right.
And like what not objective, but just kind of like what the story is gonna be about. I'm assuming it's gonna be about this kid and just like him. You're seeing the intro and like seeing blonde-haired boy at different levels of like age. I'm just curious what his story is going to be going forward. Whether it's going to be like,
I think it's just like survival.
I can't imagine it's gonna be that simple, because you can't have a story just off of the idea of surviving.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
they're surviving on Iceland. I mean, it's not like a nice place, but they've lived there long enough that generations of their family have lived there post Halfdans or Harold. So I don't really think it's going to be about survival. I'm just curious to see, like, I feel like the show's going to just kind of like seeing this and maybe like hearing people or just like Patreon people like being like, oh, you guys are going to like it just by the way you like to like speculate and like talk about shows like Attack on Titan. I feel like it's probably going to be a journey of like who does Thorfinn, right? Thorfinn?
THORS?
Thorfinn.
Not the dad.
Thorfinn.
Okay.
Yeah, the kid. But it's probably going to be a story of like what kind of man he becomes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're probably his dad seems like a pretty good guy just off of what we've seen, and then you have horrible people like Halfdan. So it's probably going to be like, what does this kid do, and do they reach Vinland?
Yeah.
And thrive on Vinland, I would assume.
What did they say Harold did?
United.
He became the first king of all Norway.
They just said he was a tyrant, and that people either died, submitted to him, or fled.
Yeah. I mean, we can at least assume it's like the stockhold of like what our Herald was. Like we're gonna build the society under a kingship as opposed to like many lords of different lands, because that's what he pretty much was. I mean, Vikings kind of did that in our show, but like the idea of Harold himself is like trying to unite. So with Viking culture in general, which is a very stubborn and very prideful culture, it's like you only get a couple choices. You bend the knee, or you're dead, or you can run away. So that's pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm interested in it. Just because it's Vikings alone, I'm already like, okay, I'm like locked in.
It's comfortable. It's comfortable territory.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
I've been here before.
But I wasn't like blown away by anything.
It was the pilot.
What are your first initial takes?
I'm still thinking like part of it's going to be about survival because we're focusing on this kid who's going to go on some type of journey. I'm assuming they're going to try to go to Vinland.
Yeah.
It's their paradise.
Yeah, their paradise.
And I'm going off that survival idea just because he's a kid and he just witnessed like his dad spare the life of a slave, but then
That's true.
he also watched the slave die.
Mm-hmm.
So, a slave who's been struggling to survive, I would imagine, his entire life. So
Yeah, it's
I
true.
think that might have something to do with it.
If what you're saying is true and that this kid is like the main character of the story and not the father, then I would anticipate something's going to happen in which the kid is forced into having to learn how to survive as a Viking, you know?
I think the dad is going to die just because of the opening scene of him in
The fields.
in Vinland, just like the slave was there and he saw his wife.
So do you think the man
He was there before they even
Thors-
discovered Vinland, I think. Because
Thors?
Yeah, because they were on the ship at war, and then wasn't it like after that? Leif Erikson said, "I discovered Vinland."
Well, we don't know when it happened with Leif Erikson.
I'm just speculating or spitballing.
I mean, it could have happened whenever. I mean, THORS didn't go with him to Vinland, so he just had like some type of vision about it. So yeah, he could be dead already, or that could just be his.
And the
that
wife,
could, that could just be the vision of where he's going. You know, like. Because he was in the middle of a battlefield, just kind of like daydreaming, and then he like looks up and he sees his wife and a baby over there.
Oh,
and then
there's a baby.
Yeah, it looked like she was holding a baby. I don't know.
I
She was holding like a white cloth sack thing, so I would assume it's a kid. But yeah, and then he like snapped out of it and he was in battle. Could be predicting that he might die, but also could be just like. That's where his like destiny is going towards.
Yeah.
I was also saying it because they kept saying throughout the episode that the mom doesn't have good health. His wife.
Yeah, she's getting old.
Yeah.
They said so.
I'm pretty engaged in it. I actually because it's comfortable territory. Like I already have like a foot in the door of like where we are. Obviously it's anime, so like it'll probably. I mean the chain scene at the web scene is obviously going to extend reality a bit with the format they were watching, but
of course, and the opening fight scene too.
He just slaughtered everybody.
And that exactly. I'm super interested because, only because like as you said, like the Patreoners, you guys were really talking this show up, and obviously this is a pilot. But as far as pilots go, like it's pretty well established for like, what's happening. I mean, the thing with me, and I say this, I said it at the start of Jujutsu Kaisen, I said it really when we were starting Attack on Titan, and really in just the rule of thumb for me in any show, I'm not gonna be full, like, all my cards in until I get to know a little bit more, get comfortable and see where the show's going.
You were like that for My Hero. It wasn't until like episode 10 you were hooked or something.
It takes a minute for me to like have to feel the world, but as far as pilots go, I would say it's a solid establishment of where we are, who the characters are that we're going to be spending some time with, even if the family doesn't make it. I would agree. I do feel like there is like I don't know if I felt it fully because of the episode itself or because you're telling me that the little kid's the main character. If the little kid's the main character, then generally how that goes is that the older people in the story are gonna... So there will be... Just how stories in general go is like something will happen that will push the kid on a hero's journey. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's tragedy. Sometimes that's separation. It could be that too, like the parents get taken by Halfdan at some point because we do have that guy who's coming into town and already starting beef with THORS regardless. Like he knows that THORS was clearly there to like defend the guy who was in chains. So yeah, it could also be if it's not a death thing, even though that's probably more likely with Vikings. There's a chance that the family will get separated from the kid and push the kid or the sister and the kid. The girl on the journey, the hero's journey, if that is the type of format we're getting.
Yula.
The format, speaking of the format, this is a really like interesting like idea. Just because being a newer anime fan, both AOT and this show are both Japanese written stories, but taking place in other parts of like the world.
Different culture.
So it's a very interesting thing like to know that this is like a Norse story with a lot of already heavy Norse folklore.
Yeah.
Just being written by non-native people. So I'm very interested to see like the take on the stories, like the themes will get presented. So yeah. Shall we start at the beginning?
Yeah.
That opening fight. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, that was really insane. I mean, dude, literally. I mean,
literally
here,
people.
I love anime, and like I don't hate anime, but I say I love and I hate anime for its moments of like,
it's
wow, this is so cool, but then like that is completely unfucking realistic.
It's a trope. It's one of the
jumping
tropes.
into the absurdism right off the bat.
Like, he took one swipe of a sword and cut the mast of the ship and four people in half.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And they, like, floated up, like, like they just got separated.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, like, it's fun. It's always funny to be like, oh, wow, this is, like, Vikings. This feels very real. There's no, like, I mean, as far as we know, like, we're not getting, like, magic and superpowers and, like, demigod beings. We could, but... Then you have like that kind of stuff like off the bat. I'm like, okay, right. We're still in anime. We're still in this kind of world.
Yeah.
But he was a badass. I mean, he wiped the floor with everybody.
Easily had 100 kill streak by the end of that.
Yeah. And I don't really know if he was like the only person to survive because when he swam to shore.
Yeah, his friend wasn't with him.
Yeah.
Well, he was by himself and every boat was on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And I guess even the first scene, it's just, like you were saying, you don't know if that's like his heavenly state, like he died or something, or if he actually did make it to Vinland at some point. Mm-hmm. He stepped on something. He looked at his wife.
It was a helmet.
Did they show that it was the helmet?
Yeah, it was like someone's dead body.
It was like a head with a helmet on or something.
Okay, but his wife was there too.
I thought like his foot stopped because there was a chain attached to it.
I thought he stepped on a trap too.
Yeah, I felt like it was a bear trap and he's just gonna like lose his foot.
Yeah.
But then it snapped back to reality and then he was just like
in
a different place, you know.
The color palette's really nice in this show. I like that they don't really hold back with the colors. And they don't do like the thing like that you'll see in some shows or just movies in general where they like desaturate and then specifically highlight some certain things. I'm probably going to reference Vikings a lot during the course of the show. There's a strong chance of that, but like especially with that show, like they did the complete opposite where it's like desaturate everything
except for something important, something very colorful.
Highlight the eyes or like the blood or just the very like teal colors you'll see like paneled on a building or something or just armor. But this is its own show, so
yeah.
I love the 3D effect of the waves.
Yeah.
The waves were outstanding.
The animation itself is...
It's really good.
It doesn't look like... So, I'm already very used to, like, the anime that we've been getting. This just feels very separate from that. Like, I don't want to offend people and say cartoon, but, like, what it looked like to me is, like, when I think of Last Avatar or The Airbender.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This felt like that?
It felt like that. It felt like if Last Avatar is, like, 480p, this is, like, the 4K, like,
version of
upgraded version of that. I never got to see Legend of Korra, so...
Are you calling Last Airbender a cartoon?
Isn't that a cartoon?
Let's go. A lot of people
Because
say it's a fucking anime, and it's not an anime.
Well, the difference I thought between anime and cartoon is one was made in America, one's made in Japan, right? But it's the same type of, right? Isn't that correct?
You ready? I'm going to offend people. They're both fucking cartoons. Get over yourselves.
I mean,
it's all animation.
Isn't the term...
It's all animation. Like, get over it. Like, stop being an elitist.
I mean, for real, for being honest, like, the only difference is that one comes from Eastern culture and the other one comes from Western right?
culture.
Yeah, exactly. But this is, I would say this looks more like Last Airbender. To me,
I
agree. That way.
Yeah, no, a lot of the, like, even, like, honestly, the dad kind of reminded me of, like, people actually, the whole part in Iceland just kind of reminded me of, like, Water Tribe.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was thinking
Or,
too.
like, he looks like a Fire Nation guy. You know how, like, a lot of the men in the Fire Nation, they have the beard, the lack of a mustache, their hair is in a ponytail, even had the bangs. He definitely looks like...
Definitely Harold looked like a firebender.
Like, it was hard for me to not see that. Also, another, like, thing that I drew from this in terms of like other animation styles. Do you guys ever see that Disney film something Atlantis, the Lost City of Atlantis with Milo?
Yes, that's a great one.
I don't know why it's such a weird calling to that. I think that actually also took place in like the Northern Territories because that was like they go to like a place. Atlantis is like near Iceland, but I don't know why I felt a lot of like similarities between that as well. Maybe just the fact that it's cold themes with like fireplaces as well.
Yeah,
lots of blues used in this, as well as whites.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. That whole appeal, and then we got to Somewhere Not Here.
Somewhere Not Here.
AKA Iceland.
That's a great name for it. Yeah. Go anywhere, not here. You can go somewhere. That's a place. Everywhere else has names. This doesn't deserve a name. It's just death.
Yeah, we met Leif Erikson.
Is he the storyteller? He's the kid. Who was
no, Leif Erikson is the old man that was
telling
with the shitty mustache.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Leif Erikson in like history is the person that's like the Viking traveler.
Eric,
like,
right?
Eric the Red?
Huh?
That's Eric the Red?
I don't know.
No,
that's what I thought.
I'll say this right now. I don't know Vikings history all that well, but Leif Erikson is someone that traveled around. I don't know.
It's a real person?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a SpongeBob thing. I'm not kidding. Okay, that's why I did the dinger.
I didn't know why you did that.
You didn't? I did not know that SpongeBob thing.
There's too many episodes.
I know that SpongeBob thing, but like that's a real thing. Like I think he's supposed to be the one that goes to America.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So isn't Eric the Red one of the other Vikings that I thought goes to America?
He's like the... I don't know this. I'm assuming he's like he's way before like our Ragnar. He's way before that. He's like one of the most well-known Vikings who discovered a lot of land.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of hard because like me personally, like I've watched Last Kingdom on Netflix. I've watched Vikings and then also out of like just interest of that trying to like look up like real Viking stuff and like the thing that's confusing about Vikings history is a lot of like the people, if they aren't like newer Vikings, like end of medieval times, like a King Harold or something, like
documentation.
Like they're not it's hard because they're not documented. Like a lot of the Vikings that you hear about are like written by monks or like Catholic people, so it's like
already crossed over.
And also it's like you're getting like fifth-hand knowledge of writing it about like these pagans, like we don't even know like what's or I mean I know there are some proof about some things but there's some stuff that it's like I don't know what's like the real history versus not.
You got runes to go off of really
and just oral history
as well. The timeline wise, when you were saying year 956, were you talking about the Viking show or this show?
At the very beginning, it says the year 987.
And that was the boat scene?
the big fight.
Okay, so how much time passed?
And then it says it's the year 1002.
Okay.
That's 3, 10, 2, 15 years.
15
Wow,
years.
I said 200.
Okay, so you know what's really
That's
funny?
why I was like really lost.
Well, you know what's really funny? Adam said that, and in my mind, I literally, you'll see it when you edit it, but I literally stare out and I'm like, and I go like this. I'm like, it's 15. I'm like, it's 15. I wasn't going to say it, but
I got confused because I was like, surely he's talking about the Viking show with Ragnar at that year. But, then that was like, so our hero was fighting a war 15 years ago. Why did they show us just because they wanted to show what power he was? Like, you said you don't know about the fantasy aspect, and then stuff like that happens, and then the Leif Erikson guy was talking about Jormungandr being a real thing, so I was thinking to myself, what if we get to see, like, Vikings through the lore version, like the folklore version, as if the folklore is now your real history. Yeah. So, like, Odin and Thor, Loki, Frey all exist in this world.
Yeah.
And that there were, like, grand Viking heroes. The difference would be is that all the folklore normally takes place before Ragnar's son and Ragnar himself. Like, the daughter, the princess of the dragon or whatever, all that stuff comes before that. But we'd be seeing, like, an extension of the folklore in modern Viking era. Yeah. Maybe.
They mentioned Floki at the beginning.
They did.
When Floki approaches, we do something, he said.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're talking about, like, the whole, like edge of the world as well. Like, you fall off the edge.
Flat earthers.
They call America Vinland. Is there any historical evidence that, like, Vikings might have ever called it Vinland by chance, or is that just specifically this show?
I have no idea. I was maybe
might be just the
that might have been that might have been what they actually called it. I don't know.
At a time, the Golden Lands.
Yeah.
What did Ube call it?
I thought that was
Golden. Was they called Golden Lands?
Yeah, I thought they always just called it the Golden Lands of Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, there was wheat there, so it's gold.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's true.
Yeah, Leif Erikson tells his story. Thorfinn doesn't believe it, and then the next day we find a slave out in the snow.
Yeah, and he
half dead. Or well, he was dead at that moment.
Yep, and that helped me place THORS very high up on the charts. The man's like going to town on his chest trying to revive him, even if it's like they know he already has the frostbite. They already know, like, Viking culture wise, like even if he survives, there's like no life for this guy.
No.
Yeah.
He's the bottom of the Viking food chain, and he's missing all the necessities. And it's not like he's an Ivar who's gonna get catered to, you know. But he's trying to bring him back regardless.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's not like, I mean, as far as we know, Vikings and how Vikings are portrayed in general, they would all be more Halfdan leaning. Mm-hmm. Not saying they would all be as ruthless as Halfdan, but they probably wouldn't.
The slave culture is very indoctrinated into their culture. It's not like a unusual thing. You saw the daughter, like, she was the same day that they were catering to the guy. They were also like she was asking to, like, have a slave under their wing.
And then she's also like, man, we paid 9 sheep and he's already dead. Like, what a waste of money, you know.
Yeah, so she's more a typical Viking of the family. Probably.
Yeah. Whereas the dad was, like, actually trying to be, like, a good human being and just keep him alive. And honestly, like, he bought him knowing that he was gonna die.
Yeah.
Just so he wouldn't have to go back and get tortured or have, like, his last moments, like, be awful.
And
that's, I don't know, that's just, like, a pretty good, like, characteristics, you know, to have.
He's probably seen the world. He probably has a greater understanding of, like, the rights and wrongs just from probably, I would assume, being outside their own society.
Yeah.
Because it's a very common thing for, like, slavery and Norse culture to not be, like, something you look down on. Yeah. So he's probably seen something outside their own boundaries.
Yeah,
I would assume. I kind of want to see that. I want to know what's up with this man. I also do think he's, like, special. Also, what do you think was in that chest that they showed? Was that supposed to, like, did it glow?
No, it was 2 swords and a helmet and a bunch of other stuff.
I thought for a second it, like, shimmered and made the box brighter.
I was gonna say, like, all right, what's the anime thing? Is there, like, a glowing orb in there? What's the special anime thing?
Oh, yeah. I don't don't know. I feel like he's probably just like a warrior with like a storied past. That's probably just like, at this point he's not a fighter.
Right,
He's just like
I'm
chilling.
getting Ragnar vibes. He just wants to farm.
There's definitely something special too, but I feel like maybe if anything, Box is to symbolize like he has a hidden past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because 15 years, I mean, you can have a wife, you can have the daughter could be 14. Like, you could, all these people, all of the new family members can be, like, new to his life.
Yeah.
And that they don't even know about what he hides in the chest. I'm just going to assume, like, for the time being, because that was, like, the end picture, that, like, we will learn that this guy's, like, special.
Yeah.
Which, inevitably...
Or he's lived a special life.
Yeah. Lived a special life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's the fantasy realm, and there's, like, something actually, like, about him, then we'll probably... If not through the father, we'll learn it through the son, who's inevitably, probably, like you're saying, going to be the main protagonist. What do you guys think of Attila, the Halfdan? I mean,
is that the guy's name from Mulan?
No.
Okay. Isn't it Attila the Hun?
I thought it was Attila.
Is he Attila?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Attila the bloody looks like Himalayan?
Mongolian.
Sorry. Mongolian.
Yeah. That was so crazy that all three of us went to that.
Well,
I was like, Mongolian.
The dude straight up had the exact long mustache from Mulan.
And the black hair and all that.
Yeah. And he is Halfdan.
He kind of scary.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like he is scary.
Moment he didn't even care enough. One of his own people talking out of turn and just immediately chain ripped his face up.
Lacerations forever. That's gonna make for an amazing fight. Like when I saw him approach and he did that, I was both disgusted and at the same time was like super hype. I was like, that was like even better than all the fight at the beginning. Like seeing that, I was like, because chains are so impractical. So it's a really cool thing that anime. I know anime is gonna do it right. Where like we're gonna get a showdown. And I'm just gonna love it.
Yeah.
Between him, maybe, and the father, who seem power scale wise the best.
I don't think I've seen another anime where they use a chain as a weapon. I was
In
thinking
norm-
Ghost Rider.
Soul Calibur, they have chains, but they're skinnier, and they normally attach to like a dagger that you would like shoot out and throw.
Like
and
Scorpion.
Then slice back.
Like
Scorpion
Scorpion,
too. I think Ivy has a rope from Soul Calibur. The rope extends her sword and like splits into fragments.
Yeah.
You ever play that game?
What?
Soul Calibur?
No.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like the sword, you press a button, and so when you slash, you can also literally like burst the sword into like 10 different pieces.
Damn.
And, like it kind of like becomes like a whip that like can stick into you, the shards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna change the battery right now on that dumb point.
We've now reached the ASMR moment of this recording.
Segments. We have ASMR segments.
For you Patreoners,
People are getting too much free stuff from us.
it's
We're charging
all
them for these ASMR sessions.
for you.
It's gonna be so gross now. From we have nothing really to go off of, but story-wise, what's like the next steps? Family dies sooner rather than later.
I was gonna say just because of Halfdan showing up, they're now gonna flee. Because I think he's probably pretty pissed about the whole slave situation. Even though he did get 8 sheep, he's probably just like, why the fuck did that guy do that?
Well, remember his
Because it's still almost rebellious, even still.
And THORS asked him. He said, asked Leif Erikson, about like the trip, and he said, do you think we could really do it? And he said, I made the round trip. You know what I mean? Like I went there and back. Like, we can do it again. So it'll probably be like just, THORS realizing that this isn't really meant for us to be here long term. Like, we got to go somewhere else, or any longer rather, since they've already been there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I meant to say this earlier in the very, very beginning, but just because like the show's Vinland Saga, I feel like it would make the most sense if they go there. But I almost feel like just with the whole like the Herald story and like the Norway, like their original home is like taken from them essentially. I feel like the kid's story would lean more towards going
Norway first.
back. Yeah. Not first. I mean, like eventually. At least. Like I don't think the end goal would necessarily be Vinland. I feel like like he would go there and like try and take over at some point.
Go ahead.
I'm thinking because Leif Erikson said that there's no war and there's no other people there. I think all these other groups are gonna voyage to Vinland, and there's going to be a battle there, or a fight for Vinland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they already made contact with Native Americans. They said things are going well for them.
Yeah.
They
gave them offerings. They
didn't understand the same language. So, I mean, it's really like Vikings, our show ends, and this is like kind of where it picks up, pretty much. I would venture to say there's a strong possibility of going to Norway too, because it's called Vinland Saga. It's hard to know how much of this will actually take place in the Americas, or is like that the end goal. Like, I think I'm looking at the opposite of what you're saying. Like, maybe that's like the end, like there and back again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get there eventually, and like here's the struggle of getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that'd be. I feel like it'd be more interesting to go to America first, so that we can see like what it's like with now having that new land and changing of, because that's like starting the breaking off of a Viking tradition.
Yeah.
So what the conflict might be when you have the tradition versus the, I guess, anti-tradition or a new tradition, and seeing the new ways and seeing how they conflict. So I'm excited.
Yeah. You think we're gonna see like any English characters or other cultures?
At what point do the colonial people come over?
No, wait.
We got a lot of time.
Not in these characters.
I was gonna say we still have like the Crusades aren't even a thing yet, right? Medieval, or at least the Dark Ages haven't even happened.
They're in like the year.
Like we're like at least 500 years removed.
We're like 500 years away from anyone even traveling to the other side of the world other than Vikings.
Yeah, we got too many wars still to happen.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to watch the next one too.
Same.
Yeah, I'm ready. Guys, if you made it this far in the video, make sure you leave a like on this. Thank you for the recommendations. Patreon, if you want to see some of your shows, make sure every month that you tune in for when new polls are dropping. Share this with a friend who likes Vinland Saga or Vikings. Comment down below what your first hot take was for the pilot of this series, and we'll see you in the second episode. Punch it. Skull!
Skull!